pirate's life is a wonderful life, sailing over the seas. Digging up treasure is my great pleasure, it's a pirate's life for me. Yo, a pirate's life for me. Ahoy there, me hearties. My name be Captain Blackbeard, commander of the notorious Black Pearl. I'd shake your hand if it weren't for me hook. Now, me and me crew have been sailing the seven seas for days, and we've landed on a savage island called England. We're looking for a small dwelling in the city of Derby called Emmanuel School, because we've heard tell at Emmanuel School there are treasures beyond our wildest dreams. Beautiful treasures, valuable treasures. Do you know of this Emmanuel School? No? Okay, not to worry. I'll just keep looking on my treasure map until I find it. Shiver me timbers, it's here! Step 2, crew! We'll be off then. Ahoy there, shipmates! Hello, boys and girls. Well, it may not be true that Captain Blackbeard is on his way to Emmanuel School to look for treasures, but it's certainly true that there are lots of treasures inside Emmanuel School. But not the kind of treasures that pirates might be interested in, not gold and silver and jewels, but the treasures found inside people, the treasures that Father God has put inside all the people at Emmanuel School. But who are these people? Well, they're you, the children that come to Emmanuel School. They're the staff as well, the teachers and the other staff that work at Emmanuel School. And also your parents and your families. Father God has put amazing treasures inside you. And this week it's Children's Mental Health Week, where we're going to be thinking about creativity, the amazing things that Father God has put inside you that you use to express yourself in, things that make you uniquely you. So let's have a look at some ways now in which we might try to express ourselves. So one way we can express ourselves is through acting, through drama. I wonder here who's a little bit like me, who enjoys dressing up and playing other characters. It's really fun, isn't it? It's great to be on stage and to perform in front of other people. Now, unfortunately, I can't quite play the piano as well as I would like to, but I know that lots of you play musical instruments and that you do it really well, and I know that you practice hard for your exams and performances. So it would be really great this week if you filmed yourself playing your instruments so we can see what you can play. Now, you might like to express yourself through jokes. You might really like to make people laugh. So here's a couple of jokes for you. Where would you find a turkey with no legs? Precisely where you'd left him. How many sheep do you need to make a sweater? None. Sheep can't knit. Say cheese. So you might enjoy being really creative with a camera. Perhaps you like going into the countryside and taking photographs of really beautiful things, or maybe of funny pictures of your family, and then showing your work to others. I know some of you are really clever with computers. I wonder if sometimes you like to express yourselves by making videos or music clips or PowerPoint presentations with the computer. So as you get older, you might become more interested in things like makeup or hairstyling. You might be really good at nail art or face painting. And perhaps when you're older, you might think about becoming a hairdresser or a makeup artist. So these are other ways that we can be creative with the way that we look. You also might start to think a bit more about the way you dress as well, and whether the things that you wear can express something about your personality. Now, I'm often blown away with how artistic our children at Emmanuel School are. I see so many amazing drawings and paintings and craft activities. So maybe the way that you express yourself is through art. Okay, so one of the ways you might express yourself is through dance. During lockdown, we've been doing a lot of just dance inside our house, but you might really enjoy choreographing things, creating new dances. Now, you might like to express yourself through handicrafts. You might like working with materials. You might be able to stitch and sew, Or perhaps you like doing things with embroidery, or you're interested in tie-dye, or perhaps crocheting and knitting, and some of you might be really fantastic at making jewellery, things like loom bands. Perhaps you might like to be a fashion designer when you grow up. So gymnastics, sport and exercise is another really great way to express yourself. Now, I'm not sure that the world is ready yet to see my brilliant gymnastic skills, so I've asked Ellie to help me. Off you go. Are some of you really good at baking? Do you like making things for other people to eat? I bet some of you are really good at making your own recipes as well and coming up with new ideas. They smell delicious. So you might be thinking, how does this creativity help me? How does being creative help to keep my body and my mind healthy? Well, that's because when we're being creative, it really helps to focus our mind on something. It helps our body to feel calm and relaxed, and we feel happy and have a sense of enjoyment while we're creating. Also, when we're finished, we might feel proud of ourselves and feel motivated because we've achieved something really good. Also, if we're struggling with something in our lives, if something has been traumatic or really hard, being creative can help us to process those feelings and thoughts. And so being creative is really important for having a healthy body and a healthy mind. So let's take a moment now to look at the science behind creativity. So while we're being creative, a special chemical is released inside our brain. So we know our brain is in our head. There it is. So I'm just going to perform some brain surgery now and take the brain out. Now, the special chemical that's being released whilst we're being creative is called dopamine. And dopamine is responsible for our movements and our emotions. So it's really important that humans have the right amount of dopamine inside their bodies. Also, dopamine is responsible for our ability to concentrate, to learn, to be able to memorize things as well, and also our moods. And we know that when we're creative, it makes us feel happy, and that sense of happiness is coming from the dopamine that's being released inside our brains. So your teachers are really excited to find out this week how you've been expressing yourselves. What kind of creative things have you been up to at home? What makes you uniquely you? So what we'd like you to do this week is to film yourself just for about 30 seconds or a minute of you being really creative, using some of those ideas that I've just given you. And we're going to take all those video clips and put them together and make a little celebration of all the wonderful and unique creative gifts that Father God has put inside each one of you. And we're really looking forward to seeing those videos.